Okay, abuzoba makwa basonko so edeba POG Media so abusunya yembonra yensemu. Enra to yenchema eto Ghana for no. Abusunya helicopter no ye black box adibi a friend a black box flight recorder abusunya sa flight recorder eno is an investigations ekoso no yakwa akohu a abusunya neoma ekoso ewo echese flight no mu omo ye behind the cause of that accident no and as the cause of that crash no abusunya track recorder no providing nyina abusunya enye asem keto akra yensem mmram me enko na yenkonko tie ensem a ekos on subscribe like na share ma afofron so ensa into me enka bi mbramase
at a consultant Opanye Wahab Opanye Wahab Al Farouk I think that's the right name Mathieu.
It's not the name is Farouk Al Wahab, not Al Wahab Farouk.
And a producer neti a Farouk Al Wahab mon correct na mame Opanye anope de Ghana antia sempa nra na wo no eba aviation ho ne ma international relations a we obi a unimo asem we ba ye no wote ye no say na wo site no
sir as we dey obi no bet maka say na wote no it is a tragedy that has hit a country. In whichever way you receive it, you receive it with pains, and you receive it with also a feeling, what does the future hold, and why such a thing should be happening to our dearest nation. We are not used to that kind of a situation, especially aviation accidents. I think Ghana, we've been blessed to some extent, your food be over this country. Some very few ones are a baby Israeli flight, cargo flight, be a corso, a work, and military. So I think they've had once way back or twice of such incidents. And passenger jets, not to the best of my knowledge, there had been one time we say, actually, so one of those airlines, and it wasn't a tragedy. When we should tie in the air when landing, and was carried off the runway, and probably Nipaka cabin accident. And imaginally, compared to Nigeria, Kenya, and some other countries, Kenya incidents, God has been very faithful. I'm very grateful. Why bless Ghana in Kenya? And I think in the history of Ghana, this happens to be one of the worst. Have time to be corrected until you can understand how the whole nation will receive such kind of very solemn good news and very sad news.
In aviation no say basa sa jet say anasa sa helicopter say ebetu a na protocols being in the course especially when your fog e wiem na ase wiem kusukuku na do so sa no.
Okay, I have my concern greatly with the radar control, and then also I have my concern with the Air Force and radar control, especially that is the one it has to do with a military jet or helicopter A2 and any jet ATT off airport. Ghana radar control is one of the longest and the farthest in the West African sub-region. What has means it? So flight to Lagos, which is 600 kilometers away from Akroma. Ghana radar control to make picking immediately. Ghana radar control to make picking almost up to Ouagadougou. Ghana radar control to make picking flight at Tikibet 30-40 minutes from Bamako, Mali. We have the farthest and the longest, more than the one in Lagos, Murtala International Airport. So now it means that all jets, all helicopters, all private jets, all passenger jets in the airspace of Ghana, the Ghana radar control is able to monitor and to follow. Now, and then I'm a radar control to me advise passion air we advise African world, say you can't go to Kumasi at this time because you are flying over the eastern region belts, the Alpines, the Coal Mountains. You cannot go. And then Ghana radar control, it means instructive flight only to Kumasi. They will send them back. So you can't land. It's foggy in the back. No maba. It has happened twice. Passion several times. African world, Wako to Kumasi, back to back in Europe. All these things have been on the instructions of Ghana radar control. Now, this particular issue, in my view, at the time the radar control claims said the aircraft is out of the radar. What time they normally determine say the aircraft, the helicopter is out of the radar? So if the helicopter is out of the radar, yet he said helicopter is taking off 9:12. The news that we had approaching 10 o'clock said flight in extra radar. What we are reading said the military started preparing for evacuation or preparing for whatever that they were to do. Radar control. When did they lose contact with the flight? When did they lose contact with the machine? Abba said, because we see eyewitness account on the ground, of course, they are not taking care of people. But Akuffo in the watching will year to one share, but was used 10. How many minutes and a sound flight? They say PTT up to Obuasi. I presume say no longer than 40 minutes. Because that jet, that helicopter, it can go higher, up to about 30,000 or 15,000 or more. Until that helicopter can go as much as all these passengers fly jet in night. And they say, if that helicopter had that capacity, so it's my core at what point, when you think of scaling, or Timoko Haiti, your friends, India, or mountains. So, only lose contact there. Then it means say, not already no. Na machine have plundered that already. Come on, from him so contacting. Na machine have followed that. If you look at the timer of once for me say about 10. But I say oh no about 10. Or me say between no about 10. Meaning say
okay. The information I remember Ghana Armed Forces for one more Facebook page, you know. One more air now say the missing Air Force Z9 no 18 hours ago, which means in the next 6 hours, 18 hours ago.
How many hours ago?
18.
No. But what are we talking about 18 hours ago? That was, yes. No. We are talking about 9/12 departure.
Okay.
He departed from Otuka International Airport, Air Force Base, 9/12.
It is at 10. Okay. It is a subway about 8:14 into Sanka. So, calculate here. There's a fast 6 can 8. That would be the time. Saying 12.
Well, I don't want to, please. I don't need to worry myself over that mathematics.
All right.
If you are talking about analysis, something that's happened yesterday.
Okay, so that was around 12. Around 12.
Around 12 p.m.
Yeah, around 12 p.m. Yeah.
But around 12 p.m. the machine was already on the ground burning.
Yeah, but that is when a statement by.
So that is what I'm saying. So the Air Force and the radar control, that is what we should find out. Because radar control has access of all flights even yesterday. We can retrieve the data. So I'm saying, we'll take you off from Air Force Base, Kotoka International Airport, Air Force Wing, you know. Time then we will say machine now. Because if the machine now say 12 o'clock now report to say missing, look at what happened. Come now report to say machine now missing. It didn't take more than 10 minutes. Then there was a confirmation. Look at the time when report to say machine now missing. Anytime chief of staff also to confirmation. What is really happening? You see, we have a solid radar control. I mean, nobody can take that one from Ghana. You can't take it from it. Unless those who are not abreast with Ghana aviation system. Monko Airport, Ghana Civil Aviation. Now, Monko from radar control, the effectiveness. It's the certain communication is not coming out. That is my view. a certain communication, it is not coming out. Meaning that it doesn't tell you what the time now. Office of the President, Chief of Staff, an announcement of confirmation. Meaning that before so gather news, America, Abishia or validate an accident and then validating those who are falling into the accident. Still another time, the military formation was also active. So it was, even it came as 4 people. So the military didn't know, the Air Force didn't know, the civil aviation and then the radar control didn't know how many people were even on board. We initially had 4. I think that we all read. Joining a Ghana webinar, they reported 4. Later on, say 8. And even at the point they reported 8 passengers and 3 cabin crew, meaning it's only 11. So there was a distortion. Let us accept, because moving forward, these are some of the things as a state. We have to look at it. We have to look at it. Was it a mistake by somebody or a radar control? When somebody didn't do his work, or somebody didn't monitor the aircraft, because you communicate direct on the flight. You communicate to that aircraft, because that aircraft, more than the Chinese version, and you're bad. Until you can communicate to them, and they say, well, lower and walk in the water. You would have told him, because say 1,000 meters to hit the ground now. It takes only about 5 minutes from 1,000 meters for any aircraft, especially that helicopter, to go on the ground. And there's no 1,000 meters there. That can never move and so or your friends woods and answer or go closer to mountains and answer a technical fault and what degree and what direct. In any case, some machine it's also inboxed with black box. It's equipped with black box. Yeah. So if it's equipped with black box, certainly then Ghana Civil Aviation, Radar Control and Air Force, they must come clean. So what are the findings? Because the aircraft, not a foggy. These are experienced pilots. They've been flying these machines. It is another way of foggy there. Definitely, he might have communicated, because any pilot on the wing at any given time, complications, difficulties, I will face Biano, he would have. And I want you also to find out from the civil aviation and for that matter, Air Force say, Oma plane said, is that Air Force, that plane, that helicopter, is it equipped with night goggles and as a foggy goggles? So if it's equipped, which I believe military jets, most of them have that foggy goggles. If it has that night and foggy goggles now, it could have gone through. Could even and conquer Hitibiano. So our goggles, no matter how foggy that it is, he would have known it. You see, we are not probing, we are only being emotional on the subject, and everybody is just talking. Because we see even military responses, and also we see communication from the ministry now. To me, I'm not getting the technical understanding. Nobody seems to be addressing an issue of technicalities. What could have been the causes? That one is not coming. We are only talking about the departed souls. Yes, but what really causes what we have to look out for, so that tomorrow it doesn't occur. Very well. Not flight, our goggles, I will go through for you. Obima can't say, come to 912, the people will say, Aya. Now you compare come against the no crafty for the machine one nation. In the machine is shown, now without control from only India, the answer machine, not a presidency, so also a reference in the validation of the news so much. Now, one thing, have they also validated, said, in that area, a guarantee area? In that area is what the episode of Galamsey started here. Now, Oma Cheki said there could have been what is called unfriendly fire and hitting machine.
What was it there, fire?
Unfriendly fire. Okay. Said there could have been a shoulder to air or any artillery. Artillery will be a hitting machine. Me, I will not rule that also out. Me said Chinese. Any Galamsey in your now Galamsey for me need equipment to go. And they know say military flight nearby. A beer following and saying Chinese one recovery go this sky give you more. So if the Chinese food and I guarantee to be more than sophistication, and they be useful on friendly fire, meaning artillery and a shoulder to air missile. Shoulder to air missile, come airport in the Polaroid. And go for ship to continue Basabasa. Sabakukra will be Chinese from whom you know. And when you see the helicopter now, Wadika airback, now a paratroopers BC form, and that's from the ropes BC former. Somebody from somewhere could have also attacked, could have thrown maybe a missile to the flight. We shouldn't rule out anything other than taking a live witness account. Say, that plane the patriotic say, plane friends, they have serviced the machine before they left. Of course, accidents and incidents happens. But then really they believe the capacity and the strength and capability of that particular friend is helicopters. And it's so easy, say, we need turbulences in our airspace. We need turbulences. And we are just only short 40 minutes flight. It is a machine which need to free a car. 12.
Yes, 12 minutes after 9.
Yes, 12 after 9. Already no do the destination. No do the destination already landed. They will take it 30 to 35 minutes to get to that side. Not one or the call was it. They will take the same altitude now. Passion echo 13,000 near them. Only to call. It will take with that in speed, you bring speed level into the 30 minutes you do a was it. And you look at the time, you for nature say. If for no church, not a papa can say, not a ranch, I want to grant them pound 10 minutes. Let us will be the destination. Into what could have hit the machine. I'm an plunging into tree. I'm a machine back down. These are things that we have to know. Nobody should just get up and say, the weather was bad. The weather is bad. Planes fly every day. The weather is bad. Yesterday, time I'm not sure. Other planes were taking off. And what are we talking about here? I don't think, sir, we should rest as a country because we should find solutions. Okay. Solutions in say radar control for much time, the exact time. I will mean use contact. Now what's saying? It to 9:12 when you here. 9:20 na flight in free radar and so on. 9:30 no means a flight in free radar and so on. So 9:30 in free radar and so on. Then calculatively no, all means that time now close to the destination. It is all that a machine now here. And you should be looking for the destination cruise. Okay.
Okay. It's my emergency responses to some of these issues. This was no mean of a person say a defense minister na or flight room. Defense minister won on a boat on my home buying. Now, sir, our flight more to Kwaya. You are very familiar with that terrain. And you are not the protocols on the course. And I say BBC na se plane tuna say yemfa say 15 minutes and 12 minutes na se mu no ewo eye radar no so a edie na nanka the right thing na ye be two questions in one.
And we fine. And if the machine is lost on the radar, the only question is you just only alert. But the point is was the radar alert and the radar was able to capture other flights in the airspace and so we make. So no one flight and no free. So no one flight and no free. There are two things are playing between free radar. So one, the communication system could be switched off and that's technically gone off. So go off there. Next is original radar control contact and your one. Two, could it be a human error? So somebody did not pay attention or somebody the flight, flight officer might have communicated to the radar control, say, Edia, when you see an answer, only these are normal questions, so maybe Edia, also, okay, head towards east, lift up, go up, or you are too close. Then, of course, they lift, because helicopter. Helicopter can uplift anytime. It can lower anytime. It's unlike the normal jet. We hear say or go around. Into this question, no, really question in answer say radar control in set time a machine is free almost attention. What was the last message? Now at the end of the day, we make it this investigation. Said we begin a black box. if of course that machine is equipped with black box, and I believe there was a military helicopter, it's equipped with black box. Now, you need crack investigators, aviation investigators, even the Air Force, they don't have it. Because, as I said, if you could go site home, you could go home, in Kuranasi phone will be a Ghanaian lawyer will be a soboa. But it also distorts information as to, I need for any even they are able to people. So, aviation instructor, almost investigators, every time we say, right, we kill hand the corporal, we head the koha, we win the koha, left wing didn't call, right wing can the main body media, of course, a planga, a beshi, a shit. Where are we going to locate or looking for the your friend is black box? Apart from what you see the process are women, the place was not opened. The place was not. And one said, Akuffo body is not in. But any advanced country, aviation experts do not care about already perished flights. It's perished. Their concern is the causes. Mountains now almost improve their horror. And aviation expert investigators come up these mountains. No matter the altitude. Now aviation should also be able to connect investigators with radar controls. The last time I'm moving flight in here saying Air Force, how many questions and then I say Air Force PRO. These are things that are also on yes, enough with the emotions. You lose your money, you know mobile, or mining mobile. But what next? What happened? The family, if I were to be a family member, which of course I'm a Ghanaian, so I'm also a family member, we demand to know, can't be we demand to know. So when I come to the house, I say, there could have been a possibility of any unfriendly fire originating from ground. That would be a Galamsey site as a artillery fire and a hit your flight, you know. Because helicopter, like any other jet, say anything a helicopter or one engine machine or the double with type and one single engine. Then this unfriendly fire basically the tailor at the machine beba form. It breaking the wing back at the flight in beba form. A hitting engine at the flight in beba form. Have we checked those possibilities? In case will be once and say investigation, you go further and check it. There is a Galamsey site to be Okrana. The people were equipped with machines. Thinking some machine in Bafom, they could have hit it. Have we checked that one? Have we assumed say those are some of the possibilities, either than the other technical questions about easy? We should not only be concerned about exam and the body, and yes, they are gallant men. They died sadly in the course of discharging their duty for the country. It goes beyond the flag in Rebecca to Madakaso. Because we have to preserve, conserve, and protect tomorrow. We have to protect what happens tomorrow. Aircraft in Amododo on the until today, tomorrow. So any state official there as an unconventional helicopter, which of course most of our trips on the short trips are now emergencies in an helicopter. So I mean, I catch us a military jet helicopter.
That be says the fear.
Thank you. And then I make sure, sir, that is the fear of the unknown, and the fear should not grow a nation, because even in the battlefield, and a helicopter at Tiatono, another helicopter is taking off. That is how the country is supposed to be. That is how country supposed to solidly, because a certain ancestors would have come, and you said a fear. And then your market now a share now, your market be a share. Now fire service for Abba say the cause of accident, the cause of the fire, electrical. But just one report your car baby.
Yes, but once Ghana na ewo enura per report ayate from baby a didn't share na Bekrobia ewo aye Akuffo constituency. I feel Shikamabo Fredu. Chroma for say play ne baya bebe forma chese na information center bia ewo ho no e baya ba beduru ne horns no ewo soro e na omuhu ya ne se asan adane a wo san akosoro akọ forest no around that time eti say bibi says here what are the possibilities say be a woyira na say what catch
no and I'm sure say there had been a disconnection at that time into the flight not one issue in the direction because when they're in the air much as say on also so a war the gadgets and also one equipment meetings because we are program machine in ordinam and you energy technology the machine is on autopilot our own meetings and so guiding and it's a mapping system a core offer that is when the radar control them in the air even the bigger jets never by the Akroma tell them near them when they are moving they enter the Ghana airspace and Ghana take over it's not the pilot only the airport they take over. So okay, Accra Airport, the non-wing flight to be also flight to be drop and to go up and that's a hold in the air. They hold in the air sometimes and allow certain flight to take off. So Obasaya presidents, American presidents Abaha, how is the radar control able to tell them say no within the radius of Ghana 267,000 kilometers on land and in the air. They don't want any flight or airspace. There's a U.S. president taking a flight to take it off until 2 hours after the flight left free airspace of Ghana will enter other country territorial grounds and then the airspace. And then the radar computing will do every flight a day. And then within years Emma for flight. Now helicopter a helicopter, a year-old helicopter. Let's comment the military. Helicopter, virtually new. A new Ukraine, a new Ukraine is not that the Bunshika one Libya. Into the reality of some conference, the whole country, they do hope and they start turning around. Meaning, said, at that time, he has already missed the landing spot. And he was already in the mountains. Happened. And the time they will say it is close, and then a man named military pilot, they are trained to maneuver, and he might have attempted to maneuver because helicopter is it is swift in maneuvering, not like ordinary jet. Helicopter, it will be a tries or turning around, and when you cruise the tail, they are the wind and the mood journey, and then flight the propellers and answer helicopter the top air propeller setting the machine becomes stagnant into the weight of the machine because and then the gravity suspend the machine in the air. If that one hits and machine better down. Okay. And then you and I knew said the aviation fuel any the engines of this aircraft you need a time above for the modify the moment you touch it down with impact it explode. And you should be enough flight, the ponder was our hitting Giano, and in the lower ground, it can only send an idea. If the helicopter comes with a bigger force, it's a heavy machine. There are occasions, I think we say, Brazilian Everglades, Brazil military, luckily, almost helicopters are a copy because the Amazons in Yanoso, a cocaine, somewhere saved. When you take forest to that thickness, you need that kind of Amazon thick forest to say what San Francisco near that. In Tiene, we could have been saved if in case say the abyss in the same room now and can be hanging in the air. Unfortunately, they died so painfully, so miserably. But please, as a country, we should find a we need to know the report, either than this only emotional approach of giving messages. We don't need that. We need technical, updated reports to a bit with cohesiveness. Okay. We need that cohesion. Okay. Now, when young Fenesian, they say, country need training nobody else than the same Air Force, nobody else than the Ghana police. Aviation investigators because there is one accident of its kind other city country. Now, can be Ghana Nibi? Papa, I can tell you, we know it. We only go there to how many we know? The date has been all down. Should you have when I'm a journalist, Monzumu Kumo, Nakumusha say, your investigators were one. Either than the Akuffo body in few any emotional approach in doing things.
Okay.
But Cassandra, it be or what almost searching the black box. Omeji, you retrieval. In Yamuchi, we are journalists and as a media person. So flight during the accident, 270 passengers in Malaysia Air, according to Russia. Investigators didn't care about the body because they know they can't salvage anything.
Exactly.
What were they looking for? They were looking for the black box.
To save millions.
When they, what I say?
Yeah.
So that with the black box, they will be able to communicate because the gadget is designed in a way that if even the whole machine burns, information on that data, either voice note or whichever script, it doesn't go off. So they will be able to play and know, say, I'm passing the area. With the black box, we should be able to know, say, the last communication between the pilot and the radar control. Whether or not radar control monitor, coordinator, no monitor our machine. No, but you because no sorry. And I said no I'm sorry. And then the buy and then I don't know my cancer again saying. Radar control won't think the cancer say machine I miss it. I miss it everything. Any the one. I can't find any kind. Why watch it? Say I brought from and the buy and could be audio. On pilot name you flying officer no any radar control audio don't think I brought from the
yeah.
Because whenever any pilot is in distress, they communicate. But you know more voice in Winchi, or more. Now what your name say, the machine is missing. It's missing where? Casa Ben and any cancer the machine are missing. Problem being no command and own any casa. Distress, we too free of what I really kidding. Let me just also ask one thing. Set machine too free, a crap. And on missing or read an so. And going to me for machine and Kakaso I am Kobetiapo. I get in so too free at 912 and no call washes or nam or corso or picking the seabeds now or crossing them postal line on Fakum and nam Wilba and nam no tremor mancasin, no a top, no hate or wasa dancing here. Yeah, no more. Thank you very much. In the very postal line. Yeah. The coastal line is a winning interruption there. Or the coastal line in the big free Accra. Edia Passa, before winning Bata, Edia Bibi Mankesin coastal line. Now across Mankesin, I hate it. No, do a bossy. It's an easy access. We need in India. In the island at that time, there's no amnesia. Just like that too. No flight can operate in the airspace about radar control system. What is the deal? This is the deal. And almost why I know good. When I'm a journalist, we're giving you the lead. And these are the questions I'm going to acquire.
Yes.
The phone call should not be with Sebi. I think I'm sure. Ignorantly. The Ghanaians are only concentrating. Sebi because I see you join the food. Waldo. These are the people we are concentrating interview on. Do you think it's normal?
we are treating them as eyewitnesses into and no na if yes and
yes and I'm military phoning and also rely on them. It doesn't work out like that.
But in the first century, Ghana 68 years, why should we be doing that? And this say BBC see your aviation investigators are one no mako so I don't know dear but maintain BBA and I said one more BBC I think say they are being unfair to Ghanaians because defense minister and our from where it will be in the know every step be a one more Ghana but there were two things asem we yesi ni saa no Ghana eka aika ho chese other aviation institutions na wo ka se yeni aviation investigators wo Akroma na Kotoka International Airport one of the busiest airports of Africa ha ye expand amafo ni brain no me na kakra o
bet my own now because o pursue ho you know that no radical and governance Ghana the Mecca and Israel of Africa. And here we did already there. Show Airport, International Airport. Ghana has one of the busiest hub on the whole of West Africa. Nigeria is bigger Murtala Airport only by the numbers of the Nigerian population. But in terms of rapidity and the major aircraft I take it off a London, Ghana top the whole West Africa. Not Abidjan, not Dakar, not Ouagadougou, not Niamey, not even Lagos, not Namziko Airport in Abuja, a dead airport. Busiest airport in West Africa in terms of proper flight, major flights and landing ticket off, and a passenger fleet. We make all not less than almost about 4,000 passengers a day around. Shell fire services airport. So we have a flight. In here, how many fire tenders we should? Two.
Yeah, two.
Seriously?
Insurance services here is a BBC.
You will see check and we're 877C. 877C. Jimlana is still KLM or the 8787 bar. 877 bar. British or the 787 on the back. Airbus 300 over the back the Airbus 300 on the back. Emirates or the Airbus 300 on the back. Now we set an airport. Emirates crowd 480 passengers. We crowd 384 to some extent. British Airways crowd 384 passengers. KLM full flight 384. Incident where you fire tenders may go for it. If two aircraft are involved in any incident, our tarmac and Ghana Airspace airport were only two tenders in the what you try it, you know? And I'm going to be the it is needless. This is a serious business. Aviation is a serious business, Papa. It will be a accident here. The friends water accident, seaway accident. There's nothing painful in this world than aircraft, plane crash. Because the pains, the agony, and you're looking at death facing you in hellfire,
embracing you.
Papa, you died so painfully, needlessly to some extent, maybe. We, Maka, that we should be able to investigate the human errors involved with this. Because if you don't know which things now, you can share or pick from Kotuka International Airport and walk in the bar straight away or the call about the beach in the so. Straight away, what picking you now after your friend saying, "That's not your and I'm sure I'm sound or the back." Because I live peace any idea what the back after Akuffo will be from Manchester, a permit your home or number they call helicopter on offer. Into any problem. Into one say time now moves away. Now time moves away, no decent. Moment time I'm the flight is missing. Like I she crazy though. I'm in class from quitting a flight in 10 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly, because so what is our statement today about around 12 thereabout, so about 11 in par. That was too late.
It's too late, Papa. It's too late. Something didn't go on well. Something didn't go on well. Air Force cannot tell me, say, who Air Force base, so Air Force base.
Yeah.
Air Force base will fly to take you off. The coordinator, the monitor, no controller, or to the machine, and what is radar control? We're making sure for radar control, please. Air Force, the helicopter, over this route, or fly from the western to the eastern side, or corridor we see. But with Air Force one, only radar control, a minimum or monitor, our new radar control, communicating.
Okay.
And are we telling us? Are they telling us, Air Force base, our no monitor the machine through the radar control? Only communication everything. How did the two of them came up to say, flight in Aya? Now, all Air Force better our flight, our frantic Air Force are being taken to look for the aircraft. Seriously, machine memory because your aircraft are either 3 days. You're losing radar control. Either 3 days. Your aircraft are Egypt Air. Egypt Air pilot. Now or assassin. Or no person who could on board or switching radar off. And your machine. A lot of pilots CCTV. And said the military aircraft, you know.
Okay.
Pilots CCTV.
Okay, so my
assassination attempt, assassination. That's why they switch off from the radar control.
Okay, abuzu we ne ensema ekọ so political highway so track recorder and one of security experts ni bi de ehonsem ababe tuja abusu sisi ano ye military for no omuguso edi hojuma de ebrem beda masesa mo je pene kokoti sa ensem we de mai aha POG Media so medamase.